What up, people? I am almost certainly real. Got something interesting for you today here in our Endless Done quick series for 20 minutes to dawn. We've got a pretty insane burn build. Yeah, that's right, 270k damage. We're gonna look and see how we got that going. A little bit of a bug in the game. I actually didn't know about it when I started the run, but we're going Hina with the summon. I wanted to try to do the summon, lens, and the burn. So I've done the summon, the lens, and then also the just attack damage, but wanted to try out the burn as well to see how that scaled, how all that stuff multiplied. So the lens, if you're not aware, with Hina's summon that she summons with the right click, all of the benefits of the lens and all of the lenses apply to that little summon. You can see us summoning it there to apply the bleed, the burn. But let's pop ahead to the 5-minute boss. I picked up a bunch of the glare upgrades. Glare is insane early on. It just kind of carries you through the early game, especially with this occurs twice as often and also multiple glares. They kind of all stack together and goes a little bit insane. But you can see I've got one lens. One unfortunate thing with the lenses on Endless is you want to get all your lenses and then you want to get all your focal upgrades and then you want to finally get the burn upgrade. Just the way it works, it's a little bit buggy, is the lens upgrades only apply to lenses that already exist. I don't know how I took damage there. That was a little weird. But you can see here with glare, you kind of make short work of the early game. And we want that glare for applying additional burns because we also have a sight magic. So you can see there we get the second one of our lenses, want to get one more, then all those focal upgrades, and then finally get the burn upgrade. You kind of have to do it in that order to get stuff to work properly. Because again, yeah, the focal only applies upgrades to the lenses you already have. And then if you get either a focal or a bounce upgrade for the lens, it will turn the burn off, unfortunately. Get ourselves a little bit of life there, a little bit of breathing room. Yeah, so technically you can get the burn upgrade sort of in between focal point upgrades, because the focal point upgrades remove the burn upgrade. You just need to make sure that your very final upgrade for the lenses is one of the burn upgrades. Okay, so here we are, 18 minutes in. We've got all of those upgrades for the lenses. We've also got one of Hina's chests that make her summon attack faster. That is pretty important to get as well. It's not completely AFKable at this point though. Just the range on the glare has been reduced significantly, so you don't really hit those bullet guys with that, but there we get that igniting lens. So that igniting lens is a huge upgrade for us. That lets us start applying all of those burns. So every one of our burns that we're applying should be 4 times 3, so 12 damage, and then we should be applying 3 of those on every single hit because of our 3 lenses for a total of 3 times 12? 36 damage. Then we do have burn on our weapon, and then we do have burn from Pyro Mage as well. So I'm not sure exactly what our total damage should be per burn, but you can see now we can kind of start AFKing with the additional range there, and you can see kind of 500 damage burns, right? Which is pretty good, but not the insanity that we get later on. Yeah, so let's go ahead and jump ahead here to 32 minutes. Unfortunately, losing our sound because I was watching Twitch, but you can see there we're up to 10,000 damage, and at this point I'm kind of like, whoa, what's going on here? I think I was kind of AFK between those 2 points. Oh, I had an auto clicker. So if you see why I'm going back and forth, is I had an auto clicker on to summon my summon there. And that's why we kept going in and out of the menu there. So what you're looking at now is kind of a little bit of the thing I was using for making my mods. I have some videos on that kind of in my channel there if you're interested. And I'm kind of trying to figure out like what's going on. So this game uses an object pool, which is pretty common in games. We'll talk about that in a second. You can see me looking at these things, and you can see all these burn on collision things going on here. And this here is kind of an object pool. Games use it because making objects is somewhat expensive, and it's more computationally efficient to reuse objects. So we'll take this Hina attack, add it to the game, remove it, go on to the next thing in our pool, add it to the game, remove it, go on to the next thing in our pool, add it into the game, and then go back to our original one. So this game uses it for attacks, enemies, most of the stuff in the game. There is one downside though you got to be careful with. So if we add something to our object, so we add a burn attack, and then we go ahead and we put it back into our pool, and then we bring it back into the game and we add another burn attack, and we put it back into our pool, you can run into some problems, right? You got to make sure that as you're putting things into this pool and bringing things out of this pool is that they kind of go back to their base state, and that is sort of what's happening in this game. And this happens with all the objects in the pool, right? I think there's about 40 of these shadow attacks in the object pool, so it takes a little while for these burns to stack up, but eventually we do get a huge number of these burn instances stacking up on all of our shadow clone attacks. I hope you enjoyed that lovely animation. Yeah, so you can see here at 89 minutes in the game, we are starting to do about 200k damage. It does start to get laggy. Just the pure number of those burn on hit effects that we have stacked up, I think starts to lag the game a little bit. But yeah, doing about 200k damage. It was my intent to leave the game running overnight. You may notice, if you look at the top of the screen, what my problem is going to be with that is that we are incredibly close there to a level 40, and I think we pick up level 40 right about now, and unfortunately do not get to run the game overnight. Yeah, so the laser beam from that 90-minute boss pushes us over into some of those experience things, and then there is about 8 hours of video of this exact screen, so I will not make you guys sit through all of that. I did eventually restart the run in the morning, but it is starting to get pretty laggy. I did double check to make sure that this happens in the base game, even if you don't happen to have my mod installed. If you're wondering why all the experience is getting aggregated, that is a lag-less mod I have that reduces the lag in the game, but unfortunately doesn't help very much with this, with just all of those burn components that have gotten added on to these attacks. It's sort of just ends up lagging through that. If you look at like that 200,000 damage that we're doing there, that is coming from 15 damage instances, or sorry, 12 damage instances, which is about 15 to 20,000 individual little burn ticks that are getting added on and have to proc there. So I think that is what is lagging the game. But yeah, that is pretty much the build. That is everything there is to it there. You saw that we killed that 100-minute boss pretty damn quickly there. But that is it. That is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Thought you guys might be interested. A little bit of an interesting interaction to get to that insane 200k plus damage. Please like, comment, subscribe, and have yourself a great day.